Hey model fans, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video, and today, as promised from the last video, I'm going to be going over and giving a review of the Autoart Porsche 918 Spyder. So without any further ado, let's just jump straight into it. I want to ramble on too much like I normally do. Let's just turn the camera around and jump right into the car. Just in case you missed my last video when I actually went and picked up this model and took a look at some of the other ones, I have here, of course, the Porsche 918 Spyder finished in acid green. This is a Weissach pack car, so it has some of the carbon bits, which we'll go over momentarily. But because I got this as a brand new model, I did previously own a 918, but I got it secondhand. So there's actually a couple of things in the box that I want to show you, kind of what to expect if you buy one of these new, and a couple of things that were, again, kind of new to me, being the fact that this is my first brand new 918. So we will come back to the car in just a second, but let me open the box here real quick. So obviously this won't be a full unboxing as the car is already out, but here's the box, basically standard Autoart box. You have the name on the one end flap, and then on this side you have the name and the code attached to it. Also gives you the color. But basically, let me just go ahead and quickly open this, because there's a couple things, again, that I said I wanted to show. So with this, because it has some opening features and such, hopefully you guys can see that okay. So you get this sheet of paper that tells you how to put on the roof panels, how to store the roof panels. It comes with a little wind deflector or wind reflector, shows you how to store that, and then also how to install that into the car as well, and your button here for popping up the rear spoiler. Of course, I'm going to go over all that in just a moment here, but we do get that sheet included in the box. And then on the top of the box, obviously, again, you get obviously all the mounting hardware inside, but I want to focus on the top of the box, because as we saw just before, the roof is already on my car. I put it on. But when you get your model, so the roof piece is going to be sitting under this little protective piece of cardboard. So you just flip that up, then you can hopefully see the two little compartments there with plastic covering. So each individual roof piece is going to be inside these little plastic covers. So obviously you can go ahead and take them out of there. And then on this side, there's another little piece of tape. And oops, as it completely falls off. And over here, you guys are going to get a pair of tweezers, which is going to aid you in actually maneuvering that little wind reflector piece, because it is a very, very tiny piece. And if you got big fat fingers like me, yeah, you can't exactly hold on to it. So the tweezers help with that. And then you get a couple standard things as well. So obviously in this little package, you're going to get your little Autoart branded model key, which will help you open up the doors and the front trunk and everything like that. And then also in here, I'm actually not going to take it out of the bag. You get basically what's a little hood prop. So you can use this to prop open the frunk if you're trying to load in or unload the roof panels, or even the little wind reflector, which sits in there. I don't think it's 100% necessary. As you'll see, it kind of holds open by itself. But I guess if you want that to open and not slam down, or even for a display, you get that little prop there, which I will show you in just a moment where that goes on the car. But yeah, there we go, guys. I just wanted to, again, just show quickly what you get all with the car, as again, it was kind of a new eye-opener thing for me. But without any further ado, let's bring the car back in. All right, everyone, so to jump back into the model quickly, as you can see, I've removed the roof because this is how your car is going to come out of the box. The roof pieces are not attached, and it also gives me an opportunity to show you now how to install the roof pieces on the top and exactly where they are stored in the front. So just to quickly recap again, my car here finished in the acid green from Porsche. And now what's really cool about this is that on the original 918s, like the actual production cars, I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head, but I know the number of actual factory painted acid green cars was very, very low numbers. I think it might have only been 5, not even 5 cars from the factory that were finished in this color. Of course, some people obviously wrapped their car in acid green. I think maybe 1 or 2 might have even repainted their cars. But yeah, it was cool that it was such a small number from factory that were actually acid green. So one of the reasons why I decided to go with this color for this model, and I've just always thought it looked awesome on this car. So some other features on this model are that it has the acid green paintwork. It's paired with the kind of bronzy wheels that we can see there. I like that all of these cars have the acid green calipers, so across all the different colors. If you want to see all the different colors, go check out my previous video. As I did mention, this is a Weissach package car. Excuse me. So, So we get the extra little carbon fiber blades around the back. The rear wing is finished in carbon fiber, and the entire top section. So the windshield surrounds are finished in carbon fiber. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that on camera. The windshield surrounds are finished in carbon fiber, and the roof pieces are carbon fiber as well. And if you don't have the Weissach package, they don't come as standard. I believe you could opt maybe to have the carbon roof, but basically it was just kind of a regular gloss black roof on the quote-unquote regular 918s. So, as mentioned, the car comes with the roof panels uninstalled. And to make life a little bit easier, I'm just going to open up both doors. Hopefully you guys can see okay from this angle. So here are our two roof pieces, and I don't know how well the camera is going to show, but I'll show you on this one. So you can see how it almost kind of bubbles. There's like this little raised edge. That's going to also kind of help dictate which side the roof pieces are installed on. They're actually going to sit this way. And then hopefully right there on the end, you can see that little tab. So the little tab coincides with a little slot in the front of the windshield here. So in my hand here, I have the passenger side roof piece. So we're just going to gently pop that into its tab. It might take you a second. Don't try to force anything in. If it's not going in properly, you might not quite have it in the right spot. But there we go. So we can drop the passenger side in, and then we can drop in the driver's side. It ultimately doesn't matter which way you want to do this. Just basically whichever roof panel you happen to grab first. And there we go. Now we have our roof installed. And then, of course, to remove it, again, having the doors open does help for removal. Not so much for putting it on, but again, you want to go ahead and remove your roof. Just open up your doors, and then again, gently kind of lift from the back first, and then pull out. You never want to kind of yank it up or try to pull from the front, because you might risk breaking those little tabs, and then your roof piece is still going to sit there, but it's not going to sit in as secure as it normally would. So we'll take off the other one, and then boom, we have our full convertible. Now, I mentioned that one of the good things with the 918 is that you can actually bring and store your roof panels with you in the front trunk. So we can go ahead and just open up our front here. Might also remember I mentioned that little hood prop piece. Again, as you can see, you don't really need it because the hood will obviously, if you put it all the way up, if your hinges are working properly, it'll sit all the way up, no problem. But in case you do want to prop it just for some extra safety, I don't know how well you'll be able to see on camera. Right, so there's a little notch right about here, and there's a corresponding one up on the front lid, which you might not nail on the first time. Anyways, I definitely don't have it properly there. Again, it could be really hard to show on camera, but essentially that's kind of what it's going to look like. And then obviously, if it's installed properly, then you can kind of push on the front lid, and it's not going to close down on you. Now, what I was mentioning before with the little wind reflector piece, so it actually sits, there's a hole in the front trunk here, so it actually sits in here so you can store it. Yeah, it is, as I said, a very, very tiny piece, and the hole in there is very tiny. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out just for a moment, just to show you where it does actually install on the model. And again, this is where these tweezers come in very handy. So just kind of gently wiggle it out of there as it falls into the front. But yeah, hopefully you guys can see right at the end of the tweezers there's a little hole. So that little hole is where that piece is going to sit into. So there's a little tab that feeds into the little hole in the front, and is also going to be the little hole that slits into the roof. So when we're storing our roof pieces, this is the only time you need to remember the order. So the first piece that goes in is going to be the passenger side. As I'm showing you the pieces now, this is the way that they sit on the car. So in my left hand here is the passenger side piece. My right hand is the driver's side. And then for storing them in your front trunk, what you want to do is take them off this way. And then we're going to start with the passenger side piece. So we're actually going to take this, flip it the opposite direction, and then we're going to slot that piece down and in. You're going to feel it lay down flat there. And then you want to take your driver's side piece, do the same thing, flip it over, and it's going to sit in there on top, nice and flat. And then when you go to close your front trunk, it sits in there nice and flat and flush. So just for ease sake, for the rest of the video, I'm going to leave the roof pieces in there. Now, the other thing that I mentioned is that wind reflector piece. So right at the top of the windshield, I'm really hoping you guys can see this on camera, but effectively right in the middle, so right where my tweezers are, right in the middle, there is a little bit of a hole, which hopefully you guys can see there on camera. So directly in the middle is a little bit of a hole. And that, of course, is where we are going to install, or at least attempt to install, our little wind reflector piece. So again, here's our little wind reflector piece. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, but it's kind of aerodynamically shaped. So there's a flat edge, which is kind of facing in the inside of my hand, and there's a bit of a pointed edge, which is facing the tips of my finger and thumb there. So effectively, that's the way it's going to get installed. So again, line that little tab up with the hole, and then gently push it down. So you're going to feel a little bit of a click, or a little bit of a clip in, and there we go. There we have our wind reflector piece, which hopefully you can see there. So basically the idea with this is that if you're riding in your car with your roof completely off, you pop this little wind reflector piece in there, and it's just going to help kind of push that airflow up over the car to give you a bit of relief in the cabin. So you can maybe have a conversation and you don't get so much wind through your hair or so much wind noise. That's basically all it does. And again, it's really cool that Autoart added this little thing in here so you can, I guess, have the most accurate version of your 918 Spyder on display. There's a couple more things I want to dive into. So again, as I mentioned in my last video, the interior details on these cars are awesome. So we can hopefully see on the headrest there that, again, it has the green stitching to match all the green outside pieces, or the green accent colors. So again, matching the green calipers, we have all the green stitching along the seat with the 918 Spyder writing right there on the headrest. Of course, the Porsche crest and kind of emblazoned on the headrest as well. The 918 was obviously a brand new design for Porsche, so we have kind of that floating central tunnel in the middle there. Hopefully the camera will pick it up, but we have very good details on the dashboard, as per usual with Autoart models. We have the steering wheel, which has great detail on it. As we zoom a little bit, of course, we can see that 12 o'clock stripe. Again, finished in acid green. And the red button there are actually your drive mode selector. So it can go full e-drive. You have a hybrid mode. You have race mode and sport mode in this car as well. It basically just cycles how much power you get. Obviously, full EV mode is full electric driving mode. Nice detail on the rear engine cover. Again, very open and mesh, and with the top exit exhaust, which at the time was a bit of an innovation that Porsche brought to the game. So again, this has a V8 in it with the hybrid system, and the exhausts are effectively right behind the driver and passenger's head. So if you ever been in a 918, good on you. You're gonna know how good it sounds. But if you've ever seen any driving clips, you can understand how good it is, because the microphone and everything's right there, and you're basically about 2-3 feet away from the exhaust. And the fun thing with this is that if you drive it hard enough, it'll actually shoot flames out of it because it's such a short exhaust system. Moving further to the back, of course, it has a wing, which we can actually pop up. Again, because Visac package, the wing is finished here in carbon fiber. So I'm going to go ahead and just gently flip the model over so I can show you guys. So there's a little tab right, oops. There's a little tab right here at the back. So you just want to go ahead and get that tab, and it pushes side to side, not front to back. Apologies for the focus there before. So we're just going to find that little tab at the back, and you're going to push it over to the right, and you're going to see the wing pop up. Now that wasn't really that good looking from this side, so if we go on from the side angle, we pull the tab, see the wing. It doesn't pop up a huge amount. It's not like, you know, like the P1 wing or some other bigger wings where it pops up, but it pops up. You can move it a little bit. It doesn't flex that much, so it doesn't really flex past this point, so don't try to jam it up anymore. It doesn't go up into like an air brake mode at all, but it can wiggle a little bit. And of course, the wing will deploy down with downforce for different driving, different ways of driving in the real car. And then when you want to put the wing back down, you just simply press in the middle gently. You're going to hear a little clip, and it's going to clip back into place. Now, one thing that the model doesn't advertise on that sheet of paper when you open it is that you can, in fact, actually remove the rear cover of this car. Now, for the life of me, before this video, I could not find the proper sized or proper type of screwdriver to go in, but I can show you guys that if you flip the model over, again, be obviously very gentle and very careful. So there's two screw holes at the back here, so one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side, or whatever side of the car we are on. And effectively, so here's a little button for popping up the wing. You don't want to remove this screw at all in the middle, avoid this screw, but you need a very, very small Phillips head screwdriver. And if you stick that in there, you're going to find obviously the screws. Gently unscrew it, and you will be able to lift off the rear deck lid. I didn't know originally that they was actually screwed on, because my blue one that I had previously, as I mentioned, I was the second owner on that one. So I guess the previous person had taken the screws out and they hadn't put them back in. So I always thought that you could just kind of freely lift the back of them, but no, that is not the case. It is screwed on. I will throw up a picture of here from my old one, because you can open the back. It's not the most impressive engine from Autoart. You see in there, but it is cool that you can lift up the back. And there's one thing to note, that when you do take those screws out, you're going to want to pop up the wing for some extra clearance. And when you do get that panel open, you're going to want to gently lift from the back and kind of lift up and pull forward, because there's two tabs on the back of the roof here that obviously lock it in to the car. So again, just like with the roof pieces, if you lift straight up, you risk breaking those tabs. So remember, if you do want to remove the back of your 918, just take the screws out, lift from the back and pull out. And then obviously to put it back in, you're going to slot the tabs in first, drop it back down. There's some, I believe, some magnets that hold it on as well. And then obviously you can pop the screws back in. All right, so there we go, everyone. Again, I don't want to make this video hopefully not too long. Just wanted to kind of dive in and show you the features of this car. As in my pickup video, I kind of went over everything. There's kind of basically everything you need to know with your 918 model. And yeah, I guess then the only other thing to decide on is, do you want to display your model with the roof pieces on or with the roof pieces off? I think just because I'm weird like that, off camera, I think I'm actually going to put the roof pieces back on. I'm in Canada. We're nearing the winter time, so you don't really want to be driving with open top in the winter time. Don't ask me why. It's just a thing that I like to do with my cars. But yeah, I'm not going to bore you. I'm going to put the roof piece back on after this video. Not really much else to show on this car. Again, the details are amazing. If we just do a little like kind of 360 loop, the headlight details on this are awesome as well. We got some open mesh on the front here. Again, the wheel design is awesome. We can see the tire lettering. You're not going to be able to pick it up on camera, unfortunately, but it does actually have words written on there. You can see on the side here the E hybrid writing. So I don't know how well you can see that. there, but it says e-hybrid on the side. We got the little vents there for cooling from air from inside the wheel well. Of course, we have the little vents on the side for feeding air into the engine. And yeah, the rear detail on this is awesome as well. We just pop the wing up again real quick. Obviously, we can see the name, Porsche 918 Spyder. And like on all Autoart models, again, if you forget what model you're looking at, look to the license plate. It's going to tell you. The taillight detail on this is awesome. We have some actual mesh in the back there that does look open. Again, so you can kind of see through there. You don't really see much. And then, yeah, again, not much on the bottom of the car. All flat bottom. The only thing you need to really worry about is that tab for opening up the rear deck lid. Unfortunately, guys, like I said, I couldn't find the screwdriver to open it. If I do find one, I'll post a little video showing you guys actually how to take off that piece. But as you guys know, like all my models, I bought this from my friend Keith, Keith's Model Cars. And don't forget, if you guys are shopping online with Keith, you can save 10% using my discount code DUCKY10 at checkout. I'll put it on screen here momentarily, and I'll also have it down in the description below if you guys want to check it out, along with all of my links to my Instagram, everything to go check out Keith. If you live somewhere else, I have some other websites that I trust to buy some model cars. Go give them a check out. Obviously, check out the Autoart site if you want to see what they have available and what might be coming down the future. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please, as always, give it a big thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel to see more videos in future, because I have more to make. Obviously, more models coming in as well. And follow me on Instagram to be up to date with the latest happenings. And I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.